Swig of the water.
Nature's milk.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit.
Got to stay hydrated, ain't you?
Yeah. In this heat.
Look at the size of that bottle. Like from the army or something.
It's a real talking point at work, this bottle. They go, why do you need a bottle that big? And I go, well, I bought it because 1 litre might not be enough. What if you finish it and go, I wish I'd bought more? And they're like, when are you ever going to be in that situation? So if I'm hiking, you know.
On stage, sweating it out behind the kit like a legend.
Amen.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Not only has Ben a hard worker,
Yeah, exactly.
he's also good with people. Guten Morgen, mein Freund. Alles klar?
Fucking hell. What does alles klar mean?
I think it means like, you alright?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you go, yeah, wie geht's?
Yeah. Hola, ¿qué tal?
4, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Take
like
4
Spanish
of
for
them.
the same
Oh.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were asking how many gigs have I done in the last 2 weeks?
No, I wasn't. How many gigs have you done the last 2 weeks?
4.
Yeah?
I think, yeah. I don't know, I've done 3 since we last sat on the Zoom call.
Well,
Yeah.
let's begin with that.
Do you want to agree with that?
Yeah, let's go with your gigs. Because I feel like I usually start every episode with, right, let me tell you this. And then it's 20 minutes of me telling you something. And then I'm like, right, Ben, see if you can get your bits in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So you go first. It's all right.
Okay. Yeah, I just had a busy few weeks with the old wedding gigs. Like, I don't know, 5 or 6 gigs with 4 different bands.
Yeah.
4 different van hires.
See,
all
that's
different.
the stressful bit, the van hire.
Yeah, so I've had a
bands,
2-seater
everyone's doing
twice.
that.
I think,
Yeah.
and it was literally the same van.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
had a
I remember that one.
6-seater. I've had a 3-seater.
Mm.
I've been to Exeter. I've been to Birmingham. I've been to Essex. Reading. Yeah. The New Forest. All right.
The Old Forest.
Yeah, where is the Old Forest?
It's a good question.
That's what I want to
Can
know.
you still call it the New Forest? Because it's been that
'Cause
for a
it-
while.
Is old.
Now. I used to have a teacher called Mr. Young, who was quite a young man. And I asked my mum, is he still going to be called that when he's an old man? She said, yeah, you named it. It's not about your age, you know what I mean? So
George Pickering.
Yeah.
When you've done all your picking.
Yeah.
George Pickard.
When I've completed my life as a jeweler, you know, picking rings.
Yeah, I was thinking raspberries.
Yeah. I think
just because I used to pick raspberries as a kid.
Yeah.
For a job.
Your one job as a kid.
No,
Very
I'm
middle
selling
class.
strawberries, picking raspberries.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Living the dream. It's all been downhill since there.
Yeah.
No, gigs have been fine. I mean, pretty good. Just logistically, a lot to think about. Got to get, Neil's been living up in Paris.
Is he there? Is he in Paris? I didn't know
he's
where
back
he'd gone.
now. He went to Paris for a bit and then somewhere else in France. So I've just sort of been holding the fort and just a lot to think about. All 4 different bands, all different lineups. One of them, I was adept though. That was nice. That was a nice change of pace. The responsibility is not on me anymore.
No, it's not.
I just got to turn up, do my job. It's up to someone else to do all the Spotify bullshit, the logistics. Just tell me where to be and when to be there.
Yep.
It was a long old day though. To be there at 12 p.m. Acoustic set and that, innit?
Where was it?
Wasing Park in Reading. Good venue. It's all right. Lovely, easy loading. Because that's what I think about.
Yeah.
Pull the car up to the door. I didn't even have to drive. That's how chilled
That's
I
nice.
was.
My God.
But I've had them on all different days of the week. Mondays, Fridays, Sundays, Thursday, a couple of Thursdays. Driving to Exeter on a Thursday. So I've got like a couple of weeks off from gigs now.
Yeah.
Which is nice to just catch up on everything else, because not only is it a lot to think about, but then you are just taken out for a day. you know, you got to leave sometimes at like 1 p.m. You know,
Yeah.
or even like the gig I was stepping on, it was like we had to leave at 10:30 in the morning. You know, and then you get back midnight. Few of them I got, you know, it's getting back at like 3 in the morning, and then you're tired. It knocks on to the next day.
Yeah.
But I've still got the studio to keep
Yeah.
going and just a life, and so it can just take you out. Things build up, but then you just the next day you got to get up, tired, crack on, get through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing my new snare drum.
Yeah. How you getting
at
on
the
with
gigs. Yeah, I like it.
it?
Yeah, I really like it. Have you used yours
I've
yet?
only used it on one gig, and it
Was that the
outdoors.
Elliot gig?
Yeah. No. Oh God, no. I've used it twice then. Yeah, but both gigs have been outdoors, so I don't feel like I've played it properly yet. You know what I mean? I haven't had any sort of bounce back from a wall or anything, or it's just, you know how it can be. It can be very dry, especially if it's mic'd
gig,
up.
Just the way the stage in the room is, drums just sound shit. But then Sunday's gig, kit sounded lovely.
Yeah.
Sounded lovely. I've actually got a couple of little videos of me playing at that gig.
Yeah.
Third set, I thought there's a little windowsill behind me. I just put my camera on.
Yeah.
Just film the third set. I sent you one of the little clips.
You did, yeah.
Just
do you want me to put it on the gram?
Do it.
I'll put it on the gram.
Oh no, don't show that awesome drum fill. Oh no. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Really? Yeah.
Nothing notable to talk about from the gigs?
Just the one. Went up to Essex, did a gig freshman year. Venue were great, looked after us really well. Small amount of people, but well up for that sort of alternative music.
Yeah.
The one thing of note though, we finished our first set at like 8:00, and then never saw the bride again.
Right. What about the groom? Groom
was on the dance floor.
Oh.
Whole night, all the way in through till midnight.
She was probably off with one of his best men.
Either that or tired.
Well, yeah.
But isn't it weird? Couldn't see her anywhere. See her anywhere. Not in the room, not outdoors, nothing. Don't know. Did she go too hard? You know?
Yeah. Did she just leave?
Or she just go, fuck this, this is...
Yeah.
This is what my husband's like. But it's interesting.
If this is the band he's booked...
We were the perfect band, though, because like their table names was Fall Out Boy, Blink, My Chemical Romance, Green Day.
Yeah.
And like... So it's, you know, ideal.
Yeah.
But it's like, wait, what? I don't know. What? Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you about, speaking of gigs, in a way, went to a jam night in London the other night.
Okay, yeah.
I went with, just to, you know, see what's about, see what's up there. And went with Laurie Miller and Dean Corlewellen. And we went up with our old mate George Cashmore, who lives in London, and he booked tickets. And we were like, let's see what this is about.
His name's George Cashmore, but society's going cashless. So how does he feel?
It's a good question. And he lives in the Big Smoke, so even less cash, you know, with those rent prices. He once played on one of my gigs, and Neil did the breakdown and wrote, George, send me your bank details so you can have more cash. And it was hilarious, you know. So it's been done. Those jokes. Not knocking it. Just saying, you know.
No.
It's a classic joke to do. But yeah, so he was already there, and we met up with some people, mates of his, for drinks before, and they were like, oh, we couldn't get in. Apparently they turned up at the door and they said, oh no, you haven't got a table or something. I don't know. And
where was it?
It was in I can't remember. Let me have a look. Pause the pod.
Memory like an absolute sivwok.
I'm going to say Hackney. That's the closest place it's to. Yeah, it's in Hackney. A place called NT's Loft, Night Tales Loft. So they couldn't get in. We were like, let's give it a bit of time and then we'll try and get in. And we turned up and they were a bit arsey about us trying to even get in. It's just a bit weird. And then but we got through Dorman, and then you have to walk up the stairs, up like 6 flights of stairs, and then you're in this room, and yeah, there was a band playing, but it was all a bit weird. It was a bit kind of like, I don't know. From what I've heard, this place went viral on TikTok for being like a cool place to go for a jam night. And so it was rammed, but no one was really listening or watching. Everyone was just sort of like not asked. And we were like, oh, let's try and get to see the drummer, you know. And it wasn't a jam night. We've realised that as well, because we were like, these guys aren't stopping. And then they ended up playing, these people on stage. They were great. But they played for about 40, 50 minutes, maybe an hour, just one continuous tune. And me and Laurie just sort of stood there with our pints going, is this...
And your drumsticks.
This is a long song. Yeah,
Did you take anything?
Laurie bought sticks, but I didn't take any sticks. Dean didn't bring a guitar. We were just going to see what was going on.
Did you have in your head, did you think about... Like, were you up for psychologically? Were you up for playing?
Oh well, it always depends on, I think, how quick the succession is. If it's like, you know, there's people getting in and getting out, because I think of a jam night, if there's just like 2 or 3 people that are like the drummers and it's quite clicky, it's a bit like, oh, I don't know if I can get in this. Whereas if it's changing a lot and it's like, anyone else want to play? You know, it's like, oh, okay. And also, I'll be honest, how good the quality is, because, you know, you can watch people and be like, these guys are amazing. I can't follow that. But then also, you might watch someone and be like, oh, I reckon I can, I can go and, you know, join these people. You know, it's all in your head, because I was talking to George about this, and he does a lot of jam nights, and he was like, yeah, at first you just like, I can't compete with these guys, and then you do, and you just hold it down, and you're like, oh, this is okay actually. But anyway, so these people were just playing one continuous jam, and then they got off stage, and then people started leaving. I was like, oh, is that it? And we were like, do you know what, let's go somewhere else. So then into the abyss we went and just had some more drinks about, and then got a train back. And that was it. That was our night in London. But I don't know. We need to go up and find a different one, I think, because you know, there's a lot. Obviously, it's London.
Maybe they tricked you all. Yeah, it's a jam night.
Yeah, this is it.
And then they're like, no, it's a gig.
Yeah,
you're stuck here now.
Yeah, musicians with instruments. It's like, why did you bring? You know, maybe that's the way.
Everyone in the crowd's got a guitar.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was a fun night out. But I think next time, go somewhere else. But yeah, right. The main thing I have to discuss today, not even discuss, we've had a bit of correspondence.
Sure.
From someone called Jason. And he said, hey guys, my name's Jason. I just wanted to say you guys are amazing. I found you guys about a month ago, and truly I find you guys funny and entertaining to listen to while I am trucking. Take care and God bless. What a lovely message.
That's his words.
That's his word. Yeah.
His words, his opinion.
It looks like we've written that and sent it to ourselves. Cause,
when you have to write your own bio for your website or for a CV or something.
Yeah. It's like, how would you describe us? Funny and amazing?
Not only has Ben a hard worker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
He's also good with people.
Exactly.
No, lovely message that.
Yeah. So thank you.
Keep on trucking, boy, and we'll keep trucking, we'll keep podding.
Yeah. There you go.
The synergy is there. You know? I guess you're trucking a lot. So we, you know, if you run out of episodes, go back to the beginning.
Yeah. And you know, tell
start
your mates.
Again.
Yeah, start again. It's like The Office or, you know, Peep Show or any good sitcom. Just start at the beginning again and go back round. I think I can't remember. Other than that, all else I got to talk about is I've just been buying this gear for Ableton, but that's not that interesting, to be honest. The only thing is that I'm having to buy it from places like Lithuania. So, you know, how long will that take to get here? I don't know. But Not worried about it. It's, yeah. But other than that, I haven't really got drum stuff to talk about.
I do have some drum stuff to talk about.
Thank God for that.
I mean, well, I got my Yamaha Stage Custom.
Oh, yeah.
I've got it. We'll put some pictures up.
Yeah.
I overheard a drummer I was working with saying, I might sell my Stage Custom. And I was like, hello. I said, I'm in the market for one. He sent me some pictures. I made an offer. He accepted. Exchange done that night. Bosh. I've got it. I've got the Stage Custom.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so it's 2 kick drums.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. 3 rack toms, 12, 13 and 16.
Yep. Sorry, a 16 rack tom?
3 toms.
Oh, right, got you.
Yeah, 3 toms.
Like, yeah. And then 2 floor toms, 20 and 28.
And that's actually what the second kick drum is. It's just a big floor tom.
Yeah.
It's not. But natural wood finish, pretty good condition really. So it's, I think it's from 2004. Now the last time he played that kit or used that kit was when I recorded him about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, for their EP. So it still had the fresh skins on that had only been used that EP, and they're the Evans Black Chrome skins. And I remember on the when we recorded it, they sounded really good. And so actually the following day, I was doing some session drumming at the studio for Jack C, and he's asked me to be on a few more songs for his next record. Lovely. And it was like, the kick drum's not really set up, ready, but I'll get the toms and I'll tune them, and then we can just compare with my Mapex toms, the other Yamaha kit I've got as well. Also, we just let Jack pick from all the snare drums. Now, the Pearl sensor tone, that was the first time Neil had heard it. He was impressed. He was impressed. And we really liked it. But the Brass Natal was Jack's favourite, and for the sort of music we were doing. But the toms, we used the Yamaha Stage Custom.
Nice.
Straight out the bat.
Yeah.
The next day, it's in the studio session.
Brilliant.
And they sounded really nice. And what was interesting, actually, the rack tom is a bit deeper than my Mapex. And I think that's just just more modern kits have shallower rack toms.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is just where people are sort of mounting them on snare stands now rather than on things. But so, yeah, a bit deeper. But this was something like, I'm pretty good at tuning a kit, right? I'd say it's, other than my good looks, it's up there on my CV.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If
that's all your CV is, isn't it?
But I just said
it just says Ben Winty, and then your information, good looks,
good at tuning toms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And you've got 20 years of work from that. So.
And it says cheers. It says cheers ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just an X.
Yeah. That's nice.
Because my name's at the top. I don't need to write it again.
No, that'd be mental.
Yeah. And I was reading on Reddit about people tuning kits, and I've been pretty good at it. And then I read something, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm doing it. I'm pretty sure I am. I'm pretty sure I'm happy with the sounds I'm getting from toms. But one person just said, just tune the bottom skin higher than the top one. That's a great starting point. And I was like, okay, I'm going to consciously think about that. Let's do that. Oh, sounded fucking incredible. Rack tom sounded bloody lush. I did it to my Mapex one as well. I was like, yeah, that sounds really good.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought it was an instant. It got more bounce. It had more bounce on it. But anyway, so yeah, use those toms straight off the bat. But it was interesting. So the guy I was working with, he was asking me about, because I said, I've got this new kit. And he was like, why this one? Blah, blah, blah. And I sort of explained. He was like, when you get a new one. And I was like, well, this one was from... And the realisation was that drum kit was older than he was.
Wow.
Or they were both born in the same year. It's like, wow.
How old is it?
So, 2004.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. It's got the classic Stage Custom badges.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It's yellow as well, isn't it?
Natural wood.
Natural wood.
natural wood, but it's quite a yellow wood.
Yeah, it's quite a yeah.
It's quite a yellow wood.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a new kit for the studio, which is what you wanted, you know.
Well, no, it's a new kit for me. But yeah. It
Are you going to use it on
recording
gigs
as well? Well, the beauty of it having 2 kick drums is I want to try and do something slightly different with it. So I want one of the kick drums, I want to have go for the sort of do what I normally do, EMAD 2, duck down feather, pillow, all that sort of stuff, and have that sort of modern, kind of more clicky, tight kick drum sound. But the other one, I want to try and get a more vintagey retro sound. So I want to try maybe like a coated batter skin or something like that. It's just so we've got another option of something that's a bit more boomy. Yeah. Because sometimes I think it would be good to have that as an option in the studio. And then I've got... So yeah, I probably would like to gig it at one point. Yeah. The trouble is, though, it's like a 16-inch floor, and I take a 14-inch, and it's just saved so much space in the car.
My God, yeah.
But, yeah, I just feel very happy I've got it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like an itch scratched.
Yeah.
And it's just this nice warm feeling of like, oh, it's a Stage Custom for when I was a teenager. Yeah. It's like the exact sort of one. Yeah. Would I have chosen a finish? Maybe not. I like a bit of colour in my life.
Yeah. Like a bit of sparkle.
But love a bit of sparkle, George. Love a bit of sparkle.
As we know.
So yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. I got another thing.
You go on.
Right. So you know Drumeo?
Yeah.
I haven't really watched much of their stuff. I see it on Instagram quite a lot. But a video came up on YouTube, and it was Megadeth drummer. Here's Mr. Brightside for the first time. Yeah. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen this video before. I watched it. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. On a few levels.
Go on.
One, you'd never heard it before.
That's the amazing part.
I mean, I'm approaching 600 weddings. Yeah. I've pretty much played it at every one. And he's, a drummer, not a small band, but he's never heard it. Yeah. I don't know if he was the only drummer who'd never heard it. You know what I mean?
That's why they got him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to ask.
But it was just very interesting. Obviously, they play. If you haven't seen this, go check it out. We'll put a link. But the drummer from Megadeth, I can't remember his name. I think he's Dutch or Belgian, one of the two. But he's never heard Mr. Brightside by the Killers. And he's in the Drumeo studio with his whole Megadeth kit set up. And they play him a drumless version of Mr. Brightside. One listen through, and then he just is then going to play over the top, like, a one-take session thing. So he's listening, and he makes a little chart. He makes a chart, and then he's like, okay, yeah, I've never heard this song. Like, it's pretty cool. I've written a chart out. He shows the chart. And then they record, and it's just really, the first thing that kind of blew my mind, was just really interesting. He doesn't play in the intro. Cool. Comes in on the verse, half time.
Yeah. This is the halftime bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so interesting that was his first reaction.
Yeah.
And once you've heard something, you can never unhear it. So, like, I know the original and I play it every fucking week. But that was his first reaction, was like, halftime groove in this verse. And obviously he's doing some really cool stuff, and he gets, rocking on the crash, right? And he misses the ending, which is funny. Yeah. And he's like, fuck, I missed the ending. Yeah. But I just thought it was quite a fascinating video.
It is. Yeah. And it's nice when he goes to normal time, because you're like, oh, here it is, here's the song, and the bits that he played that are the same as the record, and you go, well, maybe there's bits that a lot of drummers will go, okay, I'm going to play it like this, I'm going to play it like that, but then there's certain bits where it'll be more, I don't know, more drummers would go, let's just play on the crash. Do you know what I mean? Because the verses could be quite, I feel like there's loads of different ways other drummers could do it, but then there's some bits that are so like, that synth part, just play it on the crash. Just give me a solid beat.
And I guess that's, that probably is a good example of, like, if you know the instrument and you have an understanding of music, that going to the crash sort of accelerates or invigorates the song and the band, so if you want to, like we've said before about like hi-hats give you a lot of control over intensity and things by opening it a bit or opening it full, and so going to the crash is big. It's a big thing to do, so it's just the natural instinct at that moment of the song will go, you've got to rock out on the crash here. And that is in the original. Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, everyone's doing the right thing there. But then there was a couple more. One that stuck out on me was that drummer who has to do a Slipknot song.
I haven't seen this one.
Have you seen that one? I need to find her name. Oh, let me just... But I mean, I felt sorry for her because Slipknot ain't...
No.
Domino Sant'Antonio.
Cool.
So she does the same thing. Here's a Slipknot song with no drums. Which song is it? Why doesn't it tell me what song it is? Before I forget. And Tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky to,
yeah.
to do Slipknot. And this is quite nice actually because they show her she does more than one take of her like getting used to the song and making mistakes and then by the end like she does a pretty decent version of it, and then she's like, oh, I see why you because then they play. That's the other interesting thing about both videos. They then play the drummer the original drums, and they're like, oh, it does that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, I can see why they've done that. And she goes, oh, I see why they told me to bring my double kick pedal.
Yeah.
For Slipknot.
I love all that. There's go on.
No. It was just quite a nice little. It was like Michael Jackson's drummer did Linkin Park.
Yeah.
They stitched Dennis Chambers up with some Tool.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I felt bad for him. Yeah. I mean, that song is insane.
Yeah.
Even if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it. He's like, stop. This is not my cup of tea. And like, that's why we chose it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
No, there's certain YouTube channels where their videos are listening to music for the first time. So they'll have like, say, someone who's always just listened to rap, and then people will send in, hey, try listening to The Who, or try listening to the Rolling Stones, and they'll be like, this is insane. Why have I never listened to this? And there's one guy called Brad Taste in music, and something like that. And he'd never listened to Arctic Monkeys before, and he listened to the first album and showed his reaction, and he was like, this is insane, because he listened to all the other ones before that and was like, this is terrible. He's listening to AM being like, I hate this is boring, slow, don't know why this band's so big. And everyone was commenting like, just listen to the first one, it'll all make sense. And he listened to the first Arctic Monkeys album, he was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. And all the comments were like, I'm so jealous that he gets to listen to it for the first, like, I'd give anything to like not hear it and then hear it,
I feel like that with the film The Prestige, where like when I first saw it, I was like, fucking hell, that was incredible.
Yeah.
And then I'm jealous when people haven't seen it. I'm like, have you seen The Prestige? And I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, they get to see it for the first time.
Perfect example of that. The other night I went out to an outdoor cinema at Preston Park, the park near mine, and saw the Rocky Horror Story, a classic film that I'd never seen before because I haven't seen any films. And it was, a big crowd of people sat outside watching it, and they've all dressed up, or a lot of them are dressed up, and everyone knew all the...
It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Story Show. Don't know. It's got Susan Sarandon in it.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
And so everyone was,
with old Crystal Maze Man, isn't it? Richard O'Brien.
Probably. Tim Curry's the
God,
main guy.
So young.
But
do you remember the Crystal Maze?
No, I've heard of it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it hell.
Is that another one for my list?
No, because it was a TV show.
Oh well. Too late now. No,
the Crystal Maze, the game show.
No,
the game show.
Never saw
We
it.
got to go in. You got the 4 zones, Aztec, Future, Industrial.
No.
Another one.
It's not ringing any bells.
And you're in a team of five of you, your mates, and you're all in boiler suits.
I mean...
And you go around these different zones, and you go in a room, and there's a puzzle, and you have to solve the puzzle and get the crystal, but you've only got like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. And if you don't do it in time, you get locked in. And at the end, they go in a big dome in the centre of the crystal maze, and they throw up loads of gold and silver tickets, and you have to grab as many, and you have to get the gold ones, and then the total gold, they take away how many silvers you got, and then you win a quad biking weekend. You've never seen it?
Never seen it.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But
well, so the bald guy, Richard O'Brien from Rocky Horror.
I've googled it.
I think he's the guy who wrote it, or was very.
He's Riff Raff, right?
Yeah. He was the host, and he wore all this like fancy bohemian stuff like Johnny Depp does. And that's where Johnny Depp got it from. And he just wanders around, he plays a little whistle, and he's like waiting for you to do the puzzle. And he's like, "Come with me to the adventure zone," and then it's subsequently, then it was hosted by someone else with a double-barreled surname, and then there's been a new version, started with a few stand-up for cancer specials on Channel 4, hosted by Richard Ayoade. And it's not as good.
No, it's a shame.
Old School Crystal Maze. Just watch one of them. I'm sure you can find it. It was absolutely mental. There's one room with a puzzle where it's his mum, and she asks you like 3 riddles. Go and see Mumsy, and he's outside, just on this little whistle. There's a little timer. Oh mate, there's like a Crystal Maze experience. You can go and play it like in real life. I was a staple of the 90s.
I was born in 94.
I know, it's depressing.
So anyway, I'd never seen that, and people were jealous of me. They were like, I'd give anything to watch this for the first time. So yeah, you know, but that's the beauty of not seeing any films. I've got so many things to see. I only saw Mrs. Doubtfire for the first time the other night, you know.
Christ.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Right, I'm going to end the episode with, I've got to tell you about Five Aside the other day.
Oh, I'm just going to finish up with the Drumeo thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because what I thought was interesting, so all of the drummers, apart from Michael Jackson's drummer, they all just listened, and it comes up on the screen. It's like, notice they are not playing the drums. And they called it active listening. I mean, it's just listening, but I guess because they're engaged. But the one I liked the most was probably Larnell Lewis from Snarky Puppy.
Yeah.
Doing Enter Sandman. And the way he's listening, and you can just see his hands, and it's shit on a podcast, where he's just like, oh, that one's pushed. Okay.
Yeah.
And that one's on the beat. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
2 up hits with a crash. Okay. And then 3. And then you get the guitar solo that goes half time, and he goes, oh, I was not expecting the half time. And then it's really good. And then he's just fucking incredible drummer.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job.
So the Michael Jackson drummer just played while listening the first time?
Yeah, he was doing Numb by Linkin Park.
Right.
And he was just, and they sort of said on the video, like, no one else has done this. And he's all a bit more like Spirit and...
Yeah. I watched that thing you were on about with the Billie Jean drum beat, where he was like, this is how you just play the beat as it is. And then he was like, let me just put my soul into it. Let me put my heart into it. And then he played it again. And it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. So my dad's arrived because
did you know
in like every father and son relationship, he's the handover of the roof rack.
Right.
Just bear with me because I've texted him. He's early. He's always early. Oh, is he wandering off?
We can end the episode. The five-a-side thing isn't... I mean, I can tell you the five-a-side thing in one...
Do it.
...sentence. First time doing five-a-side with this team, we lost 19-1.
Oh.
Yeah. My
that's
God.
A sobering scoreline.
Draining. And it was only a 40-minute match, so that's a goal every 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that. So, yeah. Back next Thursday. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll be back.
I meant five-a-side, but yes, we will be back as well. We'll have a guest
George
next
has
week,
been
hopefully.
very kindly Yeah, that would be great. Looking forward to that. George has been very kindly going through and putting up some more exclusive little YouTube clips.
Yeah.
We've had Jack, Pat, and now there's a little video of us chatting to Johnny.
Yep.
A bit that wasn't in the show, so go and find us on YouTube, subscribe, all that. keep up with the socials and keep emailing, messaging us in and telling us how amazing we are.
Yeah.
Because we kind of like it. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, should we say about the delivery video?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's certainly the best thing I've ever done for this podcast. Maybe the
George
best thing
messaged
I've
me
ever
yesterday
done.
and went, and I said, the Johnny video's great, thanks for doing it. And then he said, wait till you see what I've done. This is the best thing I've ever made. And he sent it to me, and I watched it, and I was like, this is really good. So it's just a little, yeah. I don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just tease it at that.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's really good.
Took
But
all
yeah,
day.
as always, stay in touch, and we'll be back next week.
Yep.
See you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.